Listen, SB with the truth, it might pitch your mind. And JP hit you with reality all the time. The way to keep it all the way 100, it should be a crime. Sports, news, politics, on the show you will find. Conversation grown, opinions they not alone. Savannah be the home, they coming straight for your dome. It is what it is, gonna be what it's gonna be. You are rocking with the Sean Brown Show with JP.
What's happening, baby? It's Monday. The Sean Brown Show with JP is back in the building. Disgrace on the ones and twos. Ooh. I'm excited about today's show. Thank you, everybody, for watching, listening. SpeakingTheMic.com, Facebook Live, YouTube, the TuneIn app, WQTS Digital Broadcast. Digital broadcast. That is correct. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Digital broadcast. Listen, it's Monday, okay? Don't come for me this evening. But yeah, a lot going on. This is a huge newsworthy Monday, and we're giving you everything that you need to know right here in the next hour. Thank you for joining us, Lunchtime Grind. We are on the air. Please excuse my face. I don't have a hat on today because I have glasses on. Don't ask any questions. Don't at me.
You're making excuses for the face before the comments roll in?
Exactly.
Okay.
Right. So, when the comments roll in, I will clap back. So if you comment on these comments, I will clap back. This is a equal opportunity roast show, even though we do news, sports, and whatever, but I will roast you on here. That is correct.
Where's Sean?
Oh, man. Dome DeLuise is not here today. So, but yeah, huge news in sports, huge news in politics, huge news everywhere. We're covering so much today, it's going to be hard to get it fit into 1 hour.
It's huge.
Exactly. It's huge. So, yeah, a lot going on. Please stay tuned. This is going to be probably one of the best shows we've ever done today. So, yeah. Disgrace, how was your weekend?
Pretty good. But apparently I broke my headphones over the weekend. So give me just a second.
Listen, that's what happens when you use First Act Fisher-Price headphones on a professional radio show. You really need to do upgrades, man. I mean, you want to borrow my son's headphones?
Can't hear you, sir. My headphones are down.
Do you want to borrow my son's headphones?
No, these work just fine. There
okay.
I am.
All right.
You guys
Hey, are you here? All right. So
I'm all here.
Okay, so your weekend was good.
Everything was great. Yeah, I had a great weekend.
Absolutely, man. My weekend was wonderful, except for Sunday afternoon. But that's a subject that I will not be touching today.
You can't say stuff like that and leave us hanging,
I'm
man.
not touching it.
Now our listeners are like, what happened?
Nope. Need to know basis. Yeah, Athens trip was wonderful. I'll touch on that later on.
Yes.
But yeah.
I wish I could have went with you on that one.
Man, well, you're newly single now, so maybe you do wish you could have came. But yeah, so 3 minutes after the top of the hour, man, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, everything you need to know in pop culture, sports, politics, and we're bringing Stop the Bus back at the end of the show. So please stay tuned. Thank you for watching. JP in your area, Disgrace on the ones and twos. We'll be back after this break. We're talking sports, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. We are back. Sean Brown Show with JP on a Monday. Very semi-cloudy, semi-clear Monday.
At least it's not sweltering hot.
It's not. That's a good thing. I have on shorts and a collared shirt. But, yeah, this is...
You looking all spiffy today.
I'm trying to look
Chad.
spiffy. My name is not Chad, sir.
It's Disgrace and Chad today.
Chad. Shut your face. Golly. See, everybody watching on Facebook Live can see that I have a collared shirt on. So now Disgrace is like giving me crap about my collared shirt, calling me Chad. I'm going to call you William. You look like a William.
I'll take a Will. Yeah, sure.
No, I said William. No shorts. William. So the biggest story in the world right now. I mean, there's a lot to choose from, but the biggest story in the world right now is it is official. Tiger Woods is back.
He's got a girlfriend.
No.
Oh.
He does.
Oh, okay.
But that's not the big story. For those of you that have lived under a rock in the last 24 hours, or for that matter, how many hours is in 4 days? 24, 48, 72, 96? Yes, 96 hours. If you've been living under a rock for the last 96 hours, then you have no idea what I'm talking about. But for those of you that do know, Tiger Woods wins the Tour Championship, his first win in 5 years. Anybody knows what Tiger Woods has gone through with the fiasco with his ex-wife, the back surgeries. This is a man that had his lower spinal column fused. Now, if anybody knows anything about medical stuff, that when you have your spine fused, it basically debilitates you.
Yeah, immobilizes
right,
the spine.
Exactly. Right? Immobilizes the spine. So what you used to be able to do, you really can't do anymore once a spinal fusion surgery has taken place. This man says he couldn't walk, couldn't tie his shoe, couldn't sit down. Question whether or not he would even be able to play golf at a professional level anymore. And so I think he's, 46 now? Somewhere around in that area. And for him to win probably the second biggest tournament in golf. And I mean, he didn't blow him out like old Tiger. And for, I think, me and Disgrace, where our ages are at, all we know as far as golf is concerned is Tiger Woods. Debuted in 96. I was a freshman in high school when he debuted playing golf, and that's all I've known. And to see the progression and everything, it's ridiculous. I wish you could see the pictures. There are pictures circulating right now of him walking down the 18th fairway. Mm-hmm. It looks like a mob scene, basically. He walks down. He was paired up with Rory McIlroy in the last round. And the side story to this is that I think there were 4 players, maybe 3, that were battling for what they call the FedEx Cup. That is basically what the Stanley Cup is to hockey, or what the World Series trophy is to baseball. It's a season. Of course, golf is broken down into seasons like any other sport, but you get a championship at the end, like for the best golfer in the world.
So you get a FedEx trophy,
yeah,
in a box that's been stepped on.
No, God,
2 days late.
No, no. It's actually a nice looking trophy. It's a cup with handles, and it says FedEx on it. It's a nice looking trophy. But so he was actually in the battle to win that FedEx Cup. It was him, Rory McIlroy, who was paired with, and Justin Rose, who was on a pairing B in front of him. Mm-hmm. So all 3 of them were in the mix to win the FedEx Cup, and there were a lot of scenarios that had to happen for Tiger to even be eligible to win. So it's funny, and I don't know if it's happenstance or coincidence that all of these things that had to happen were happening while this final round was going on. Like, somebody needed to finish tied for 3rd. Another person needed to finish tied for 3rd or worse, and Tiger had to win the tournament, and Justin Rose had to do such and such. It was like 6 different things that had to happen specifically for Tiger to win, and he got 5 out of the 6.
And here we are.
5 out of 6. So Think about it. From a man from having spinal fusion, not being able to walk, tie his shoes, sit down, eat, do anything that we basically take for granted, things we do on a regular basis, and come out and you're in contention for the FedEx Cup, but you win the tournament is amazing to me. I mean, we sat here and watched this man's development from rock bottom to the top again. Now he's the second-ranked player in the world right now.
It has been a roller coaster story for Tiger, man.
I think if I was him, I probably would have gave up a long time ago. And now, right after this, they're flying out for Paris today for the Ryder Cup. That's coming up, the whole competition between the United States and everything else. But I don't know, man. Honestly, when I was watching him walk up the 18th green, I almost felt a tear want to come down my eye. Because that was one of those moments. Like, if you can, Google some of the pictures that, and everybody's talking about this. So Google some of the pictures of, what happened when his walk down the 18th fairway. Because it's unbelievable. So the Tour Championship, of course, September 20th through 23rd at East Lake Golf Course in Atlanta. He was 21st entering the event, world ranking in the world. His odds to win the event were 4-7. So in the first round, he shoots 65. Second round, shoots 68, has the lead. Round 3, shoots another 65. Round 4, shoots a 71, wins the tournament. I'm tongue-tied because I'm so excited about the story. His official ranking is 13th, not second. I'm sorry. He finished second in the FedEx Cup rankings.
After this event, though.
Right. Yes, after this event. So earlier in the season, he was ranked 26th in September. The one right before this, the BMW Championship, he ended up finished tied for 6th. The Dell Technologies Championship before that, he was tied for 24th. Ranked 26th after the event. All of these events have basically sped up the incline to where he was. Because if we could go all the way down to the tournaments that he started playing, he was, in his first tournament, the Farmers Insurance Open in January, he was ranked 539th in the world.
Right there at Farmers Insurance, he was at 647. Jeez.
Yeah. The official World Walk entering the tournament, he was at 647. So that means there's 646 golfers better than you in the world, according to World Golf Rankings. 25-1 to win the event. He finished tied for 23rd, which bumped him up to 539. Now, if we go up to his next tournament, the Genesis Open, entered the tournament ranked 550. So there's 549 golfers that are better than you. You missed the cut on that one. You go to 544 afterwards. You go to the Honda Classic, 544 entering. After the ranking, you finish 12th. You're 389. The progression starts to go up after the Honda Classic. This the Valspar Classic entered 388, tied for second. That was his first really top 3, top 5 win of the season. And this is I think this is the tournament where we thought, Tiger is starting to show signs of old. Mm-hmm. You're tied for second, so now your world golf ranking is 149. You see the trend start to go up. The Arnold Palmer Invitational tied for 5th. He bumps up to 105. This is all with a guy with spinal fusion, can't walk, can't do anything. Anybody who follows sports knows the story. He's had to cut out of tournaments. He's had to withdraw because of back pain and everything like that. So he comes to the Masters and finishes tied for 32nd, and now he's 88th. All of these things lead up, long story short, to the Tour Championship yesterday, where he wins it. It's a wonderful thing, man. I'm so proud of him. As a sports fan, emotions just bubble up. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's not comparable to like having your firstborn son, but it's just when you follow somebody so long and you see them struggle so long with injuries and personal stuff and naysayers saying Tiger will never win. Colin Cowherd went on to say Tiger will never win another tournament. Right. Live on the radio. And now he's the Tour champion. So
I love a good comeback.
Man, that if he doesn't win an ESPY, I'm boycotting ESPN. Literally. Comeback of the year, there shouldn't be any other candidates for comeback of the year. Tiger Woods should win this outright. No questions asked. Don't at me. Nothing. It's just, man, God, I'm a sucker for a good story, man. But
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
What else we got going on, man?
Man, I'm out of breath now. I'm completely out of breath. I mean, that story just threw me for a loop. I was just so happy about it.
I know I saw a lot of good updates on my Ohio teams over the weekend.
Yes. The Cleveland win? Yes.
Yes.
Cleveland did. Holy crap. What's going on in the world today?
Look at them Browns.
Man, listen, I see. Thursday, September 20th, the Browns beat the Jets 21-17 for their first win. Of course, we talked about that earlier. Sunday, September 23rd, the Falcons lose again to the Saints 43-37. The Chiefs still on a roll, 3-0. Patrick Mahomes is a beast, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know. If you have him on your fantasy team, you are a very happy person right now.
That was a strong first half. I'm looking at the score.
Absolutely.
14 in the first, 21 in the second.
That's right. 35 to 10 and a half. What are we doing out here,
Well
baby?
done.
They beat the 49ers 38-27. The Dolphins are winning a lot of undefeated teams out here right now.
Yeah.
The Dolphins beat the Raiders 28-20. They're 3-0. The Bills get their first win of the season. That should boost morale in the locker room, seeing that what is his name? Vontae Davis decides to retire in the middle of a game last week. But they beat the Vikings in Minnesota 27-6. The Eagles continue on their winning ways, 2-1. They beat the Colts 20-16. The Redskins beat the Packers. Sean will be happy about that. 31-17. We'll get into a reason why he won't be happy later. The Carolina Panthers beat the Bengals 31-21. The Titans beat the Jaguars in Jacksonville in a barn burner 9-6. Good job. The Ravens pick up their second win of the season, beating the Broncos 27-14. The Giants beat the Texans. The Giants beat the Texans? What? Am I reading that right?
Yes, you are. The Giants beat the Texans
Holy
27-22.
Good gracious. I never thought my team would win again. 27-22 win in Houston.
Hold on. Neither one of those. Giants are 1-2, and the Texans are 0-3.
Hey, don't discredit us. Hey, don't take this from us right now. What are you doing? Do not take this win from us. A win is a win.
Being a Browns fan, I should show some compassion.
I don't care if you arm wrestle a 2-year-old. If you beat him, it's still a win.
A win's a win, baby.
That is correct. Play to die. The St. Louis Rams beat the Chargers 35-23.
Apparently, Jacob Price agrees with you there on the chat.
That is correct. All it says is Drew.
No, right here.
Oh, I'm looking at. Okay. Thank you, Jacob. Appreciate you. The Bears beat the Cardinals in Arizona 16-14. The Seahawks beat the Cowboys 24-13. And the Patriots lose on the road to the Lions 26-10. Stafford throws a whole bunch of touchdowns to Jones, as we all know. I think the bigger story is Monday Night Football tonight, while we're on the subject, September 24th, the Buccaneers and the Steelers in Tampa Bay. I like it.
You like it?
Yep. I'm trying to think of the dude's name. That's why I drew a blank.
I think we all smelled that brain fart.
Ryan Fitzmagic, a.k.a. Conor McGregor, at quarterback for Tampa Bay. That should be a good game. I like Buccaneers to win, but that should be a good game. I know my wife will be watching because she's a Steelers fan, so I'm going to keep my comments to myself because I do have to go home after the show. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. My wife is going to kill me. God damn. But, yeah, the biggest stories in the NFL are Patrick Mahomes for Kansas City and Ryan Fitzpatrick for Tampa Bay, just kind of coming out of nowhere, just leading their teams. The Buccaneers right now are 2-0, of course, in the NFC South. They beat the Saints and the Eagles in their previous two appearances. Ryan Fitzpatrick has a quarterback rating of 96.1, 819 yards passing so far, 8 touchdowns, and that's in 2 games. 3 games, 2 games, one of them. Yeah, so I think Tampa Bay fans are very happy with what they have right now, and especially in a conference that has struggling Atlanta, mediocre Carolina. Can't really bypass Drew Brees too much in New Orleans, but that's your NFC South standings with Tampa Bay on top, 2-0, of course, undefeated. But a lot of things are going to be unfolding as far as I can't wait for Tampa Bay and Kansas City to play if they play. I don't know schedules like that, and I don't know divisions like that, but if they ever play, this is gonna put some butts in the seats, sir.
Oh yeah,
butts in seats.
You just like saying butts on the air.
Butts in BUTTS. Butts in seats. I'm telling you.
You said butt. That's our dose of maturity for the day.
There you go. We just had our 2-year-old moment.
Brought to you by the word
butts. That is correct. Speaking to Mike.com, Facebook Live, YouTube, WQCS Digital Broadcast, the TuneIn app. Oh my God, I'm exhausted from immaturity. You know what immaturity causes sometimes? Dysentery.
But on that note,
Disgrace, please take us to a commercial because I can go on a tangent about immaturity and dysentery for the next 25 minutes.
we know.
Shut up.
We'll be back.
Sean Brown Show with JP. Baby Come Back by Kill Paris on the Sean Brown Show with JP. Disgrace on the ones and twos. We're in the building. I am exhausted. I have officially used all of my energy on the Tiger Woods story. I was so happy. Oh God, now I look normal. Hold on a second.
Is that why you're dressed like this today? Just kind of.
I gotta put my Fred Sanford glasses back on. But yeah. So a lot else going on. Baseball, ladies and gentlemen. I promise you. Yeah, where's my? Come on, man. I can't walk out to no music. Sunday, September 23rd, 2018. The Yankees lose to the Orioles 6-3. I hate that.
How did that happen?
I don't know. It's difficult to do a 110 loss team.
Did all their strength sit out today or something?
I don't know.
Or
Didi
on that game?
Gregorius. Matter of fact, Didi Gregorius got hurt the game before when we clinched Saturday. So maybe that has something to do with it. He's torn, strained muscle in his wrists. Yeah, so he's questionable for the rest of the regular season. That's definitely going to be a loss for us. Hopefully we'll have him back by the wild card game, which it looks like it might be Oakland. But Tampa Bay beats the Blue Jays 5-2. The Royals beat the Tigers 3-2. The Marlins beat the Reds 6-0. The Braves, who have clinched the NL East division, they beat the Phillies 2-1 yesterday. Sean Brown's Mets beat the Nationals in Washington 8-6. Not gonna matter. The Brewers beat the Pirates in Pittsburgh 13-6. The Chicago Cubs beat the White Sox 6-1. The Anaheim Angels take another loss. They lose to the Astros in Houston 6-2. I feel a burp coming on. The Cardinals beat the Giants 9-2. I'm trying to swallow it down. Pause.
Phrasing.
The Rangers beat the Mariners 6-1. The Twins beat the Athletics. A huge need for my Yankees. We gain ground on them. Well, we lose ground, actually. Actually, we don't gain or lose ground because both of us lost. 5-1. The Minnesota Twins beat the Athletics in Oakland 5-1. The Dodgers beat the Padres in a football game 14-0. Good
Ouch.
gracious. Lord, what are you doing? San Diego reevaluates your franchise, thinking about selling.
Or pitching.
The Colorado Rockies, no, think about selling the franchise. The Colorado Rockies beat the Diamondbacks in Arizona 2-0. And the Cleveland Indians beat the Boston Red Sox in Cleveland 4-3. Allen walks off for the Indians in the 11th. Final in 11.
Boston's got 105 under their belt right now.
105 and 51. Only for them to choke in the NLDS. I see it. Because the way it plays out right now, we would play Oakland in the wild card in New York. Then we play Boston in the NLDS. We will beat them. I guarantee it. Boston don't have home field advantage, but we will beat them. David Price, we're coming for you. I'm telling you.
You hear it.
We've tagged you 3 times already this year. You better not be in that starting rotation. We're coming for you. Both barrels. All the time. So yeah, that was very random.
Yes, it was. Very
A
awkward.
lot of baseball, a lot of college football going on, sir.
Oh, yeah. I like college football.
I love college football. Good gracious. College football is probably the best. I like college sports better than pro sports
Amen.
because there's so much on the line. There's so much more on the line in college sports than there is pros, especially for, like, seniors. You know, you got that last chance to make that national championship run. And you're in the pros. I'm like, okay, you get eliminated in the playoffs the first round. Okay, I'll see you next year.
I got 4 more years in this contract.
Right, exactly. Not more. Yeah, you can't say that in college. Well, I don't know. They're starting to get paid now, but I don't know. Friday, September the 21st, 2 games on the slate. Number 10, Penn State beats the snot out of Illinois, 63-24. And UCF, the unofficial 2018 national champions.
UCF.
Central Florida.
You calling it now?
No, I'm talking about from last year.
Oh, gotcha.
They didn't lose a game last year.
Gotcha.
They were undefeated. So they went around posting banners and saying, hey, we're the national champions. We never lost. So they beat Florida Atlantic 56-36. And in Saturday's action, I sounded like a girl just then. Shut up. In Saturday's action, in Saturday's action, top 25 or top 10. Texas A&M, number 22, gets beat by number 1 Alabama. Nobody saw that coming. 45-23 in Alabama. Tua Tagovailoa. Yes. That's his name. Passed for 387 yards and 4 touchdowns and ran for another one. 5 total touchdowns for him in the 45-23 win against Texas A&M. Oh, yeah. Bro, he's a beast. He's a beast. Go back. Matter of fact, go back and watch Alabama, Georgia from last year, national championship game. Go back and watch it. Yeah. Speaking of Georgia, I was in Athens this weekend but Georgia wasn't. They were in Missouri, beating Missouri 43-29.
Putting them at 4-0.
4-0. That Georgia's got a great team. Like, when was the last time Georgia started this high a season? It's been a long time.
Do start really low in the rankings.
Yeah, they start like 7th or 8th or something like that. But
recently
started.
It's been 7 or 8. Like 5 to 10 years has been like
it's been
down 24 or 14 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this last year has put them on the map as a very much legitimate football team.
Mm-hmm.
I think they started 3rd preseason. The preseason third best team in the country. Now they're sitting at number 2. Number 3 team is Clemson. They beat Georgia Tech 49-21 in Atlanta. Clemson moves on to 4-0. The whole thing about college football, you have to stay undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
You have to stay undefeated. Speaking of another undefeated team, the number 4 Ohio State Buckeyes with a returning Urban Meyer.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Tulane 49-6. 42 points in the first half.
Little practice game there.
Really? I know somebody else on this list that had a practice game, but we'll get to them later. Number 5, Oklahoma, also 4-0. They beat Army in a close one.
That is close, yeah.
28-21 in Norman, Oklahoma. These no-name football teams are coming out here and they're doing work. Somebody's going to get upset. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Bunch of country boys on those.
Yeah,
lines,
I'm telling you, boy, cornbread and ham hocks. Boy, I'm telling you. Number 6, LSU, also 4-0. 38-21 over Louisiana Tech. The upset, no, it wasn't the upset. I'm sorry. Stanford, 4-0, defeated Oregon 38-31. Now, the thing about this game is, look at the score. 24-7 Oregon going into the half. Then Oregon comes out and offense just turns on, forces overtime, and Stanford wins in overtime 38-31.
It's like Oregon had a big lunch at halftime or something. Right
No,
there.
they didn't have lunch. You come back from lunch. Oregon clocked out and went home. That's what that was. Number 8, Notre Dame, also 4-1. They beat Wake Forest 56-27. The first one-loss team in the top 10, Auburn, number 9. They beat Arkansas 34-3. Number 10, Washington, also 3-1. They win against Arizona State 27-20. Number 12, West Virginia beats Kansas State 35-6. And here's the big one. I'll save that for last.
I'll come back.
Kentucky with another upset beats number 14 Mississippi State 28-7 at home. Kentucky is 4-0. Kentucky. What are we doing out here? Where is all of this coming from? The powerhouses of the SEC are mostly 4-0, but Kentucky is right up there with them.
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky used to be the money game of the SEC. Like, they're horrible. Now they're 4-0. They beat Mississippi State.
Everybody gotta have their time sometime.
Mississippi State will probably drop out of the top 20 after now. We'll see if the new rankings are out once we finish these scores. Another upset. Texas Tech beats number 15 Oklahoma State in a drubbing, 41-17 at Oklahoma State.
A drubbing.
The drubbing. Another upset. Texas at home beats number 17 TCU, Texas Christian, 31-16. Upsets everywhere this weekend. Wisconsin holds down Iowa at Iowa. Number 18 Wisconsin wins 28-17. Number 19 Michigan drubs Nebraska 56-10. The number 21 Miami Hurricanes beat Florida International 31-17. Another upset. Purdue at home beats number 23 Boston College 30-13. And the number 24 Michigan State beats Indiana 35-21. In the last game, BYU number 25 beats McNeese 30-3.
And you had another one you wanted to.
I did have another one. This is the big one.
That's a close one. Ish.
Do you see that team right there?
Mm-hmm.
You know whose team that is? That is correct. Sean Brown, where are you at? Get off the bridge. Do not jump. It is not worth it. You have your whole life ahead of you. Please, please, please do not commit suicide as your Virginia Tech Hokies lose to Old Dominion. Can you even tell me where Old Dominion is?
No.
Exactly. 49 49-35. Look at this line. 7-7 after the first quarter. 14-14 at halftime. 28-21 after the third, Virginia Tech. And then after that, 28-7 Old Dominion in the fourth. Blowout. I call that a blowout. Forget that. LaRusso for Old Dominion, 495 yards passing on 30 of 49, 4 touchdowns.
Goodness.
That is a remarkable stat line. Cox, pause. 20 carries, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. One of those carries for 40 yards. Oh, what? Out of nowhere. I mean, Virginia Tech now. Yeah. People's got 20 carries, 156 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 long carry for 87 yards, which was a touchdown. They had very spread out rushing in Virginia Tech. McLeese had 12 carries for 75 yards. Jackson had 11 carries for 58 yards. Willis had 4 carries for 30 yards. As a whole,
there's a lot of work there.
That's a lot of work. You're not kidding. Even their receiving core, it's not comparable to Old Dominion, but Hazleton had 5 receptions for 154 yards and a touchdown. On the other side of that, Old Dominion, Fulgham had 9 receptions, 188 yards and 1 touchdown, 1 long for 45 yards. And Duhart had 9 receptions and 100. That is what we call a dynamic duo. Both of them had 9 receptions, both of them for over 140 yards, respectively. Listen. That's a big upset. I will be calling Sean after the show to make sure he's okay.
So that's why it was the big thing, man. I'm all expecting like a history lesson about Virginia Tech.
Oh, no, that's Sean Brown's team right there. Virginia Tech. He swears upon it, sir.
Yes.
That's correct. Loser. The Sean Brown Show with JP. Once again, we're 20 minutes till the top of the hour. SpeakingTheMic.com, YouTube, Facebook, Live, the TuneIn app, W2QTS Digital Broadcast. I'm tongue-tied. I'm happy Virginia Tech lost. We got a very interesting song coming up for you guys. This Grace. What is this song called?
Mr. Bill and Ill Gates and Harmonica Lewinsky.
Whoa. Pause. What are you doing out here? Sean Brown Show. We'll be back. Politics and Stop the Bus coming up.
Just fly on the sky, I'm gonna need you to say so. I'm just tryna come around, I'm gonna need you to say so. I'm just fly, already know I'm gonna need you to say so. I'm just need you to say so. No interest. Anytime I come around, I'm gonna need you to say so. No interest. If I married in a gun, gonna need you to say so. No interest. If I love you and I'm gonna need you to say so. No interest. If I'm scared, I'm gonna need you to say so. No interest. Anytime I come around, I'm gonna need you to say so. No interest. If I married in a gun, gonna need you to say so. No interest. Say so, say so.
I don't give a
Sean Brown Show with JP, 15 minutes till the top of the hour. We are on the verge of closing this thing out, ladies and gentlemen, on a Monday. Thank you, everybody, for watching. SpeakingofMike.com, as aforementioned, the TuneIn app, YouTube, Facebook Live, WQTS Digital Broadcast. Thank you, everybody, for watching us today. Informative show today. Tiger Woods, football. We didn't cover basketball. We're not going to go back into sports, but Jimmy Butler, the Timberwolves want some kind of action, trade action for Jimmy Butler. It's going to be interesting to see where he goes. I want him in New York, but I'm just saying. But
Do you think he could come to New York?
He could. He could come to New York.
Any offers on the table, or
There's some scenarios that could go down, but nothing is concrete. But I mean, we'll see. I think he'd be a good fit in New York, but that's coming from a Knicks fan. So what do you expect?
Of course.
Exactly. So another big story out on care of FoxNews.com. James Woods refuses to delete meme that says got him locked out of Twitter. Now, of course, the story is, and I'm going to turn this to Disgrace because he knows way more about it than I do. Actor James Woods has been locked out of his Twitter account for over a 2-month-old tweet that was found to be in violation of the tech company's rules. The tweet posted July the 20th included a hoax meme that said it came from Democrats and encouraged men not to vote in the midterm election. The tweet itself said, pretty scary that there is a distinct possibility that this could be real. Not likely, but in this day and age of absolute liberal insanity, it is at least possible. And the meme says...
no, actually, that's not... Or is that part of the original?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, my bad.
The meme actually says, we're making a women's vote worth more by staying home. Okay.
It's a parody thing, man. I mean, really, this is what's going to get you banned. Not all the memes of sexual exploitation, not all the back and forth of other politicians, but we're going to target James Woods.
Like me and Disgrace said off air before we came on the show, politics is very, very sensitive right now. You have to be very careful about what you say about voting, the president, the Senate, the Congress, House of Representatives. You have to be very sensitive and very careful about what you say. People really don't care about sexual exploitation and things like that. Well, I won't say they don't care, but
there's a lot to do, a lot that don't. But when it comes to social media, these are private businesses. It's not really about the offensive nature of the meme. You know exactly what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's political bias, and everyone's tired of James Woods. Like, Come on, James Woods talks trash like crazy. You think Trump is bad with his tweets, man? If you follow James Woods for a long time, I'm not saying he didn't have a ban coming, but of all the things that he has posted, this one is the one that gets him banned.
Yeah, he said Woods went on to say he received an email from the tech company Twitter on Thursday saying the tweet has the potential to be misleading in a way that could impact an election, which kind of could be true. If a person does have a cult following, the people are more likely to take what that person said at fact than anybody else.
Okay, let's give it to Twitter. Let's say that they're 100% correct in what they're doing and filtering James Woods. I want to see a lot more people banned.
Yeah.
We're going to see, okay, if this rule is what we're going to base it on, about 2/3 of Twitter is going to have a shutdown account in the next couple of days.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
well, mine won't be because I don't tweet like that. But
yeah, I'll be
saying,
sitting,
you're
you and I will be
absolutely
sitting
correct.
there all by ourselves going, where is everybody?
Right,
Well,
you're absolutely right.
Not really me. I never check my Twitter. I'm a horrible social media person. But really, with everything else that's out there, I mean, I'm dumbfounded on this one personally.
I mean, it happens. It happens. But that cult following thing is real. Now,
that's true.
It's just like saying if let's just take for instance, I don't think this will happen because I think he's smarter than that. Mm-hmm. Let's just say Obama. Obama has a huge cult following right now with probably 100% of the African American community. So if he was to go out and say something, more than likely the African American community is going to take that as fact as opposed to anybody else. So
anyone left leaning, not just the African American community.
Yeah, exactly. Anybody who follows him and supports what he does, they're going to take him at fact and say, yes, you're right. I don't know anything else. I don't choose to know anything else. So I'm going to take you at your word, and this is what it is. So that Twitter does have a point, but still, it's James Woods.
Yeah, it's James Woods, man. Like you're really filtering a guy that most people don't listen to anyway. And like one of his best recent roles was Family Guy. Get out of here with that noise.
Which was a legendary show, though.
Well, yeah, the role was hilarious as all get out, but nobody's taking him that seriously. Yeah, he's talking a bunch of conservative nonsense, but that's exactly what it is. I don't see you guys attacking Rosie O'Donnell.
That's because Rosie O'Donnell isn't on the map anymore.
James Woods barely on the map himself, and like Rosie O'Donnell has a lot more political pull than he does right now.
I can believe that.
And Rosie's out there inciting violence. Like,
yeah, very true.
Can we get a little bit of unbiased support here? Like, let's get everyone that's doing the same dumb stuff, and let's see if Twitter even has any followers anymore after that.
Right. So yeah, that's good. So that's gonna be interesting to see what leads, what the future holds for James Woods. A lot of other stuff going on. Apparently, what's the guy's name with the accusations? Can't think of his name right
Judge
now.
Kavanaugh.
Judge Kavanaugh. Apparently, somebody else has come out and said he exposed himself at a party. And now, this is everything that Disgrace has told me. This is the political correspondent right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Paying attention.
But, so yeah, apparently she comes out and says that he exposed himself to her at some party, and now she can't come up with reasonable evidence that she was even there, and the timelines are just off, and Kavanaugh is coming with concrete evidence that says he wasn't even in the same state at the time. So...
And there's a lot of stuff that was coming out this morning. I don't want to comment yet because I don't want to make a really strong push on it. But Wednesday, I'll definitely have some opinions. But apparently, they're having a really, really hard time linking him to this party in the first place. Dr. Ford's statement about this party is being contradicted by Kavanaugh having an actual calendar of events saying that he wasn't even in the same state.
Right.
We need to see some evidence on this one, guys. I'm so torn. I'm a big supporter of keeping people safe, and not destroying their names.
Right.
But all we see, everybody right now, is a woman making accusations and a man denying them with no real evidence between either one of them.
Right.
And so this is setting an example to our children, a really, really bad example to our children, that we can go out there and destroy somebody's career just by making something up.
Right. And that's the backlash of it. You sit here and you throw out accusations, and you're not taking into consideration that one of these people, well, not livelihood, but one of their credibility is going to be shot.
And this is a fantastic
Either
point.
the person you're accusing or the accuser themselves. Because if it's false, then guess what? You're catching everything.
Literally, both of them are being destroyed. Neither one of them are going to come back from this.
Right.
The same way.
Well, I say that because Kavanaugh was already in the situation.
Yeah.
Now, if she comes out and she wants to add her 2 cents, and then it comes out being false, then for one, it might give Kavanaugh a little bit of credibility because then people are going to think, well, if she came out and said this and it wasn't even true, then how do we know that this first accuser isn't doing the same thing?
Well, how many people do we know that somewhat follow politics and they never update their stories? You know, you'll hear from 2 years from now, well, Kavanaugh was a sex offender. If he, even if he got proven innocent, people are going to still run with that old story because they never updated themselves or anything like that. No matter what, neither one of them can come back from this 100%.
Right.
And I hope for her sake, I hate to condemn Kavanaugh or anything like that, but I hope for her sake that it's true and that she can get what's coming to her in a positive way. Because, man, if this whole story is false, the backlash from this is just devastating on both sides.
Right.
And if this is all false, and if it is proven to be a lie, I hope she gets what's coming to her as well.
Right.
Because I have 2 little girls at home, and I love my little girls.
Right.
And if their credibility is questioned like this because of all these fake accusations, I hope everyone who's destroyed my daughter's credibility burns for it.
Right.
It's
I don't blame you.
It's not fair to our children. It's not fair to their kids either.
You're absolutely right.
When we make false accusations, when we make false statements, and we do things like this for political reasons, we're damaging our future generations. We're leaving them less of a chance to defend themselves.
Absolutely right. That's well put, man. Good gracious. You need to take that on the road, sir. Let's see. 5 minutes before the top of the hour, we're going to do this really quick. Disgrace has a story. We're bringing it back. It's time to stop the bus. Let's go. Go ahead, Disgrace.
So which story did you want me to touch on today?
We're going to touch on the very touchy one that you told me about earlier.
Oh, about the comment that we had
Yes.
on Facebook over the weekend. Guys.
Savannah has another donkey of the day. Let's go.
And I'm gonna give a shout out to WSAV. I love you guys for putting up great stories that we always follow. But man, on one of your posts this weekend, I was watching a gentleman who probably had some semi-unpopular views, but he wasn't anything rude. He wasn't bringing in anything negative, but he was touching upon the state of what's going on with welfare in our economy, and he had made some points about we need to incentivize people to get off of welfare and start providing for themselves, which is typically a very strong right-leaning view. You hear a lot of people talking about that, but normally when people talk about that, it's pretty insane.
Right.
He was pretty level-headed about the whole thing. One of the comments that came back on the feeds said, "That includes you inbreeds. More white folks on government assistance than melanated folks, and that's a big fact." And I'm like, how do you come at somebody like that? This is a whole conversation that legit has nothing to do with race.
Right.
And your first comment, right out of the box, you're going to come at this man's race. Now, I came back at the whole thing just reading over these comments, and I called her out, and I was like, if you spend 2 seconds and just go to this gentleman's Facebook page, you're going to learn a lot about him that makes everything that you said completely wrong. I'm not going to call out his specifics, but man, if you just clicked and scrolled a little bit,
right,
wrong guy coming in.
Right. Judging the book by its cover, basically.
Right. And honestly, I said that she owed him straight up an apology because going back to talking about our kids, like this mentality is what's going to make their futures difficult. We're keeping racism relevant by practicing it, and social media has got to be one of the worst methods for practicing this horrific behavior.
Right.
People feel invincible when they're on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and they will say anything. Man, it reminds me almost of you remember the Call of Duty chat rooms back in the day?
Yeah.
Good gosh, yeah. Like people would just go ham. Everyone's invincible when they're sending their opinions over a cable line or a phone line or something like that. But guys, it's got to stop. Like racism really has no place anymore. We've been trying to push past that for so long, but we're glorifying these kind of behaviors. And what do you think our kids are going to do?
Right. They're gonna mimic what they see.
Yeah, our kids learn by mimicking us.
Right.
You know, like I got a lot of behaviors from my dad, like a lot of the stern faces you see come out of me, man. I'm really just kind of mocking Douglas there. We do that. We all do that. You listeners have done it. Your parents did it. Everyone does it. We all mimic. So if you're out there acting racist and aggressive and things of that nature, guess who's going to be doing it too?
Yep. And I think just to chime on that point, to piggyback on you in this last 20 seconds that we have, for you to come out and say, okay, white people are on government assistance more than melanin, that could be true. However, you control your own destiny. You control whether or not you want to be on government assistance, or you want to sit there and go out, get a job, pick up a trade, go to school, do something like that. That's under your control. So for you to, it's almost like, it's real funny because you mentioned this story to me today, and I was in church yesterday, and like the sermon was about, I think the title of the sermon was, everything is like, paraphrasing, everything is going to be clearer now, or something like that. It was something like that, something to that aspect. Your mindset leads everything you do. If you have the mindset to be broke and want to be lazy and get government assistance, that's you. That's what you want to do. And just like you said, if your kids see it, they're going to mimic that. So when they grow up, they're going to be on government assistance because they say, oh, well, mom did it, I guess it's okay. Or dad did it, I guess it's okay. So they're going to see that as successful. But you could get up and not rely on the government assistance and say, I'm going to be the first one in my family to do this, or the first one in my family to go to college, or the first one in my family to actually have a job, sustain the job, and work your way up into a company where you can actually make money and you don't have to worry about the government.
Or make your own company.
Right. So for you to come out, so the story says, white people have it more than melanin. Okay, well, how about you subtract yourself from that number and go out and get off of government assistance if you're on government assistance, or do something to help people get off of government assistance. Go out, have a job fair, form a job fair in your city. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. This lady that said that is in our city. So go out, go to your local channels and say, hey, I want to start a job fair to help the people that, are not able to write their own resume, or they're not able to go out by themselves and get a legitimate job. I want to form something to, help them through the process of getting themselves together.
Right.
Not sitting there bashing somebody for their opinion. And I don't
Or
know
for
the
the
guy.
color.
Yeah, the color too. I mean, look at it this way: the reason why we are struggling as a people, and I'm just going to say we, the reason why we're struggling as a people because we choose to. Like it could go for, we're so, I hate to go here, and I mean we're over time and we're about to go. Matter of fact, you can go ahead and cue the track because this is the last thing I'm gonna say. You can play it if you want to. The reason why we're so in an uproar about white police officers killing black people, but nobody wants to say anything about black people killing each other.
That's a good point, man. And your previous point, do you follow Candace Owens, a political activist?
I don't.
No, you should. Your views are right on top. I think everybody should give her a good listen. She talks exactly about what we've been talking about tonight. And Dr. Benjamin
Well, Candace, if you're listening to the show, man, we would love to have you, man. Hopefully we can get through the proper channels and get you on here one day, man.
Yeah,
Where is
definitely.
the track,
and Dr.
sir?
Benjamin Carson as well. All right, guys.
Golly. Yeah. People of melanin descent march about us killing each other instead of all that other stuff. Come on. We're sitting there killing each other, but we want to get mad when, you know what I'm saying. God darn. I'll see you Wednesday, man. Speaking of Mike, Facebook, YouTube, tune in at WKTS Radio. Thank you for watching. We'll see y'all on Wednesday. More news, sports, politics, disgrace music, man. We ain't here. We'll see y'all Wednesday. Have a good week, afternoon.
Week, everything. This episode brought to you by the word butts.
Damn!